Here in Tampa, Florida, covering the GOP convention here with Congressman Dennis Ross of the 12th District of Florida, which is the neighbor to Tampa. You're
Yes,
right next door. This is home for you.
This is one of, in fact, we take in a lot of Hillsborough County too, which is where Tampa is, and then we take in Polk County, which is Lakeland. It's a landlocked district, very conservative, very strong Second Amendment rights district, very strong.
Tell us about this battleground state of Florida. Tell us, you know, when you see Paul Ryan at the Villages and the unbelievable crowds there, and brings his mom up, but you also have to think about the seniors that live in this state and some of the scaremongering tactics from the other side. How does this side win the fight on Medicare, and how does the Romney-Ryan ticket win this battleground state?
Well, first of all, we should win this thing. I mean, we've got an elected Republican governor, an elected Republican legislature. Our turnout has been good. It's all a matter of turnout. You know, we do have a strong senior population here, but I think what the Romney-Ryan ticket brings to the American public is truth, is the reality that if we keep Medicare the way it has been going, then in 10 years it's going to be bankrupt. And that one thing we have to do, if you read the Simpson-Bowles Commission report, in the preamble it talks about having to do something to save this country from financial disaster. And to sit by and do nothing, which is what this president has done, other than try to vilify the American public, to sit by and do nothing is an absolute malpractice for this president. Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan bring to the table a plan based on reason and logic that addresses the problems, that goes to the American public and says, look, we have to fix this, and this is how we're going to do it, because we want to make sure you get what you paid for when you invested in Medicare, when you invested in Social Security, and you invested in the future for your children.
You talk about the Simpson-Bowles Commission. Wouldn't you just be happy if the president just followed the advice of his own commission?
It would be amazing. And you know, the president, that came out in December of 2010. The president has ignored the Simpson-Bowles Commission. Very bipartisan. Addressed everything. Talked about tax hikes, talked about spending cuts, but it made the American public realize that we are on the brink of financial disaster if we don't get something under control, and that something is our spending.
Congressman, what do people say to you when, because you know, we've been here the last few days, we've really enjoyed this whole area. It's a very beautiful area. I have a lot of connections to the I-4 corridor. There's so many small businesses and there's so many local businesses, and you know, when we go on the road, we always try to find the local restaurants and not go to the chains. The entrepreneurs, the small businesses, when they say, why doesn't Barack Obama believe I built this? You know, when he says you didn't build that, what do they say to you?
The American exceptionalism. We have the greatest country in the world not because we had the most government over the last 236 years. We have the greatest country in the world because we have inspired entrepreneurs and innovators to fulfill their dreams. The last 4 years has done everything possible to stifle that innovation. You know, this president believes that the government is there to make sure that we have equal outcomes, not equal opportunities. This president has done more to overregulate business, has done more to put a tax burden on the American business. We have no certainty in our tax policy. At least give us certainty. You know, January 1 is going to be Tax-mageddon if we don't act between now and then. Unfortunately, this president has done nothing but try to vilify. He has tried to divide and conquer. As you see with his executive orders, Congress is irrelevant anymore. Whether it be on immigration, whether it be on health care, this president is trying to coalesce the American people to accept mediocrity. And thank God we're not going to do that, because in 75 days, we're going to have a new president.
The other day, I talked to incoming Speaker of the House, Will Weatherford.
Yeah, great guy.
Who I joked before is like Doogie Howser. I cannot believe this guy. He's like 32 years old. He just looks like a kid. He said that he puts this state up against Texas when it comes to the Second Amendment and that people cherishing their right to keep and bear arms. It's a strong statement, sir. Can you back that up for him?
Oh, so wholeheartedly. In fact, I just got in the mail today my dues renewal statement from the NRA, and I will see to it that I get that out right away. But I think that we have probably, have you been to some of our gun shows here? I mean, the Suncoast the gun show over in Tampa, in Lakeland, we have, I mean, I think that's one of the things we pride ourselves on. Look at our concealed weapons permits. They have gone up dramatically in Florida. I mean, Texas, yeah, they got more space, but we got more pride in our Second Amendment rights.
One last question about Florida politics, which I find, you know, sadly fascinating, is when you look at Charlie Crist, who, you know, just a few years ago said that Sarah Palin would be a better president than Barack Obama, when he was bashing Barack Obama. Next week he's going to appear at the DNC, at their convention. What a weird story and turn of events that's become.
Not if you know Charlie Crist. Okay. I've known Charlie Crist for 15 years. I was one of the first to ever come out when he was elected as governor and to say this emperor has no clothes. I was against him and I was against his policies. There were two of us in the legislature then in 2007 that voted against his reformation of property insurance in the state of Florida, was to create a government-run insurance program. We realized that he was a populist. We realized that he was not a conservative. Over time, we've proven that. This is a man who will follow the next breeze to find out where he should go. And it is evident with him speaking at the DNC that he has no soul, he has no political base, he is a populist. And he's probably one of the best things that's going to happen to the Republican Party.
Congressman, good to talk to you. Next time I talk to you, I hope you have a, get your opinions out and be a little more assertive. I'd appreciate it. You're a little soft-spoken for my taste. Awesome talking to you. Thank you, sir.
Likewise. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you.